Welcome to the Business Profile. I'm Jeff Layton, and today we're at Whitney Sleep Center, which is right downtown Detroit Lakes and really in the historic, what we'd call, gray stone building. And I'll tell you, you guys did a fantastic job in here. We were here about a month and a half ago.
Yes.
And Sue Gunwale, thank you for having us in again. Fabulous job on the inside here. Every time I come in here, I go, somebody put a very nice touch on that, and I think that was you. So
I was one of them.
One of many. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit. And just to remind folks, when we first came in here, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, we talked about the different types of sleeping disorders. Mm-hmm. I learned there's 84 different sleep disorders, which I would have thought 8 or 10,
right.
But 84,
yes,
more than you can ever imagine. So what we focused on the first one is actually, first of all, the sleep study and the diagnosing of that. Mm-hmm. So why don't we just do a quick review of that, and then what the next step is, what we're going to focus on, and that's the therapy or the solution side.
Yes.
So let's talk through a little bit the sleep study and the order of things here.
Okay. Well, one of two things can happen. Either your physician can refer you to our center, or you can be seen directly here without a referral. Dr. Whitney is a board-certified sleep physician. He's also an internal medicine physician, and he is a diplomat in sleep medicine. So with that being said, he can diagnose and treat all 84 known sleep disorders. So when you come in, either you're going to physically see him here, or you'll see him via telehealth. Then you'd move into a form of diagnosis, whether it be a home study, whether it be lab work, depending, or a facilitated study here on site. At that point, we move forward with the diagnoses, which would be here at our sleep center potentially, and then into the consultation or the review of your sleep study or your home sleep study. So then at that point, Dr. Whitney will review your study, and he will recommend a path either of therapy or potentially regarding your insomnia, whatever the situation is, whatever he diagnoses you with. And that is if there even is a diagnosis. We do see normal studies as well. So then at that point, they would transition, let's say they have obstructive sleep apnea. They would transition to our clinical department, where our clinical specialists who have combined 32 years of experience would then work with you, setting you up on therapy, on CPAP therapy, mask. And by the way, anyone who is currently on therapy, you can come here also for your services, especially if you are having difficulty, you aren't utilizing your therapy, you need follow-up with a specialist. That's what we're here for. So
okay, so what we'll do is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to meet Jim, who's actually on therapy, and explain exactly how he gets fitted and how it's really helped him in the long run. Okay?
Wonderful.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
I want a new sweater, a new pair of shoes, jewelry, a new handbag. Shop at Nadine's.
Get her something she really wants for Christmas. She's worth the investment. Avoid holiday stress and let the staff at Nadine's help you with the women on your list. We offer gift cards, extended hours, refreshments, and free gift wrapping while you wait. Nadine's in Perham. Why look just okay when you can look great?
Welcome back to the Business Profile. Again, I'm Jeff Layton. Now with me is Jim Dunn. Now, Jim, you're actually a patient of Dr. Whitney's.
Yes.
And I understand for about a couple years now.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we've talked with Sue that first thing that we need to do is first of all diagnose the problem. One of many things that could be going on. Then the second course is to figure out what course of action or what therapy to solve the problem.
Right.
And you said this was a bit of a life-changing thing for you.
Oh, absolutely.
You wish you would have done a little bit sooner.
My wife did too, yeah.
Well, explain how you first became aware maybe that you did have a sleep problem.
Well, it was actually, I've been married 22 years now, and probably for about 10 of those, my wife has told me you stop breathing when you sleep and you snore, and it's not real fun to sleep with you. And But unfortunately, it was my hunting buddies that threatened to ban me from the turkey hunting shack.
Well, then you knew something had to be done,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, well, now we're talking serious. But yeah, so I actually went in and actually saw Dr. Whitney directly. Did not go through my regular doctor.
Okay.
I just went right to the source and was brought in for a sleep study. Found out that I stopped breathing 21 times an hour when I'm sleeping. Which probably explains why I was so tired all the time. And so I was put on CPAP therapy.
Okay, and that's what we're going to talk about in a second. But you had mentioned that stopping the breathing really hard on your heart.
That's what I'm told, yeah. I mean, you get a chance to see your study, actually, with Dr. Whitney, and you'll be able to, A, see what it sounds like when you snore, and then B, you'll be able to see the effects of those apneas on your heart.
Right, and how all of a sudden your heartbeat goes down, you said your oxygen levels went down, and then all of a sudden you do that catch-up breathing, and then your heart is really working hard to make up for that.
The heart races to get that oxygen level back up to keep you alive in the morning.
Okay, so let's just talk about one simple really solution, and this is the solution that Dr. Whitney came up with for you, to kind of give people a little bit of an idea and take a little bit of the mystery, maybe, out of sleep apnea and the solution for it.
Right. Well, I got to tell you, I was a little nervous when it came to, hey, if you have sleep apnea, you're going to have to go on CPAP, because I had this image in my head of, my gosh, it's like an iron lung or something like that.
Right, big machine beside the bed and mask, and
Yeah, I'm not an animal, but actually it's a really basic form of therapy, and that CPAP stands for continuous positive airway pressure. And what mine does, this is an example, this is the exact mask that I use, is, mind if I, I'll just put it on. What it basically does is it blows air into my nose. That air going into my nose at a set pressure keeps my airway open when I sleep.
And that's as simple as that.
That's it.
And it's comfortable. Do you find yourself waking up or it being uncomfortable?
It took a little bit of getting used to, just because you're not used to sleeping with anything in your head. But the reward of feeling really good and refreshed in the morning was well worth the kind of the acclimation period.
Very nice. Okay. Well, Jim, I want to thank you for sharing your story with us.
Sure.
All right. Well, we're going to have some information on the screen here, the easiest way to get a hold of Dr. Whitney and the Whitney Sleep Center right here in Detroit Lakes. I encourage you, if you think you have a sleeping problem, definitely at least ask some questions and see if you can maybe be helped by Dr. Whitney. Until next week's Business Profile, I'm Jeff Layton.